This will be my first video magic review, an idea I'll admit that I blatantly ripped off from Zero Punctuation and Ben Yahtzee Crawshaw, except he reviews video games and I'll review magic products, taking this to an entirely new level of nerdiness. Anyway, today we'll be reviewing Coinsomnia, The Random Conjurings of a Sleep-Deprived Mind by Bill Citino. Here's what you get for your $35. A little softbound book of 7 routines and 3 variations in about 80 pages. This makes Coinsomnia the first magic book I've ever read to bring back the kind of choose-your-own-adventure novels that make me nostalgic for my childhood, along with Pogs and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Bill is of the stand-up school of coin magic, trying to bring the magic off the table and out of the lap, and into the spectator's hands and performer's fingertips, automatically earning him a number of points in my book. In fact, only 2 of the routines here require a table at all, which is great news if you're going to perform for actual living, breathing people, and could only be construed as bad news by magicians who like to perform in YouTube clips where the camera is aimed straight down at the performer's hands, usually with the performer's crotch in the center of the shot the whole time. Bill clearly knows how to frame each magical moment so that he draws the audience's attention to exactly where it needs to be. A perfect example is the second production in Almost Famous, which creates the kind of memorable image that will stay in your cocktail party spectator's mind long past their hangover the next morning. It's evident that, as he says, each of these routines have spent substantial time in his working repertoire. On the whole, Coinsomnia is solid. I could probably take a sledgehammer to this book and the material would still rock. After all, I did say it was designed for maximum impact. Unfortunately, it would also have the dings and scratches that seem to mar some of the layout and production of this book. Now I'll stop this metaphor before I carry it so far that I'm discussing it with David Stone and Cyril on the moon. There are some editing errors and layout errors in this book, some commas in the wrong place. The text goes so far into the margins I thought the words were going to try to commit suicide by jumping off the page, and he once, though only once, asks you to reference a picture that you have to flip not 1 but 14 pages to find. Oh, and also he once says do when he actually means do, but none of these take away from the material, which is described very clearly. Bill's done a great job of actually teaching the coin magic, a very difficult task, normally about as clear as the face of the kid you went to middle school with who always wore suspenders. Some of the material in this book, however, is pretty difficult. Among the slights here are a modified Sylvester pitch and 2 routines that even use the dreaded muscle pass. Also, since Bill is left-handed, Coinsomnia is written from a left-hander's perspective, so if on the one hand you're the kind of person who only performs self-working card tricks for your sister, thinks the hot rod is the newest revolution in visual magic, and would rather collect chintzy plastic apparatus in your garage than entertain a group of spectators, then you can probably stop watching this video on YouTube and return to your homepage. If, on the other hand, you're the kind of magician who likes solid, strong, workable material and can handle sifting through a few typos and spacing issues, and you can tell the difference between your left and right hand, then keep watching. There's some great stuff here. Midgott is a 3-coin production, vanish, and reproduction along the lines of Troy Hooser's Extraordinary from his book Destroyers. I was a little bit surprised that Bill didn't call this one unbelievable. Bill's addition to this plot is a pretty spectacular simultaneous vanish of all 3 coins almost immediately after the 3rd coin is produced, which comes as a big surprise to the spectators, and I can only imagine the kind of audience reaction that Bill gets at that moment. That's Impossible is a nice addition to the book. It's a multi-phase copper-silver transposition, mostly in the spectator's hands, ending with both coins changing to Chinese. I've seen this idea in print before, but Bill's is the first one that's not so complicated or gaff-intensive you either need a PhD or Todd Lassen standing next to you whenever you perform it. Ithka is the only routine in the book I disagreed with. It's a coins across to a spectator's hand, but he starts off with a misdirection production, where 1 coin ends up on the spectator's hands without him knowing or feeling it, and ends with the 3rd coin appearing in the spectator's closed fist. This seems counterintuitive to me, as I think the misdirection production is the strongest phase of the routine, so why on earth wouldn't you close with it? 3 coins hanging is exactly what it sounds like, a hanging coins routine. This one, however, doesn't require you to use edge grip at any time. Bill provides a few variations to allow you to end clean, if that sort of thing is important to you, or to hang 3 different coins in case the sight of any more silver is likely to make your audience vomit. Choose your own adventure while playing Pogs and watching Rainbow Bright. I should also mention that there are 2 moves here that went directly into my performing repertoire. This book is full of solid, workable, refined material. With 7 routines and a few variations, Coinsomnia might seem like just a well-packaged and bound set of lecture notes, but for the price, I think you're getting a pretty good deal. There are no pipe dreams here. Any of these routines could easily go right into your working repertoire. If you're more like these guys, order this book. If you're like this guy, here's a scotch and soda for you. And one for us. We'll need it.